Welcome, DC fans, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast with Dylan and Akram, where we talk about everything that's happening in the world of comic books, movies, entertainment, and pop culture. Akram and I are super excited. We just watched DC FanDome on IGN's live stream yesterday, and they dropped a shit ton of content coming out between now and next year. A lot of great things to talk about going on in the realm of DC Comics. A lot of things we predicted in our prediction episode, and some surprises came as well. Akram, what's going on with you, my friend? How did you feel about it?
Well, that was certainly eventful, long, and worth it to watch the whole thing from beginning to end. I had a blast. I'm very satisfied with the reveals, especially some game reveals that we'll get into later. Surprisingly, not that many trailers. I mean, a lot of insight and behind the scenes, right? So a lot of things is early production, but all in all, I thought it was a really great event. I think even better possibly than the last event. So how about yourself? What do you think of it?
I think there was more content definitely than last year's. I feel like a lot of it could have been more developed, especially since so many of them had like COVID delays. Like you're definitely right. There wasn't as many trailers that we could have seen. Obviously, the biggest one that we're gonna talk about is the Batman, which just dropped their second trailer. So I was very satisfied that we got to see that at least, and some footage too, like the Peacemaker show. Obviously, they gave us a trailer. Black Adam gave us a reveal. So I'm happy with, and the Flash, of course, gave us a little teaser. So we'll talk about those in full, definitely. But yeah, I think a lot of like smaller projects was more just like conceptual, so just showing us like what they're working on. I'm really excited to see Blue Beetle, what they're gonna have in store for that, but we'll talk about that more in depth later. So yeah, while it's fresh on my mind, let's talk. The biggest one obviously was the Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz as Batman and Catwoman, respectively. Colin Farrell as Penguin, and Paul Dano's Riddler, which I feel like is the most terrifying iteration of Riddler that we've ever seen so far. How did you react to the trailer?
Oh my God. Different take on Batman. Very amazing. Very angry Batman, right? Everything is way more gritty, set in gritty realism. I loved it, to be honest with you. I really did. And I love the fact that they gave more insights on the filming. At the time, they only filmed 25%, right? When they first showed the trailer. This trailer, too, feels like it's really fleshed out. I like the whole concepts they got going on. And the tone is just like cinematography, everything. And Matt Reeves is a great director. I'm a big fan of Planet of the Apes trilogy that he directed. So awesome stuff, man. How about yourself?
I totally agree. Cinematic stuff looks great. Even that end shot that we got with a pan out of him like upside down from Penguin's point of view, I think that was a great shot. The coffee cup, with the question mark. Obviously, there's some great photography shots in this. Yeah, and they're basing this off of Year One, I believe, which is Batman's like it's interesting to see because Nolan kind of like experimented this with Batman's like younger self, right? Before his eventual journey into becoming the Dark Knight. But this is like the youngest Bruce Wayne that we've seen on screen so far. So I think Rob's gonna bring like a really cool take on the character. And he even wore a Van Kilmer suit, which was interesting because Christian Bale did the same thing when he auditioned for Batman. So I feel like that's just like a standard that whenever you're next in line for the cowl, you just have to like don that that Van Kilmer suit, I guess, and then just see where he goes.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, because I'm just so enthralled with the Batman. Amazing stuff. I mean, Batman Year One is one of my favorites too. At the time, I think Catwoman was actually like a prostitute, kind of, right? And so here, obviously, they're deriving a lot from Batman Year One and Two here. So I wonder if they'll go with the same character arcs. I wonder if we'll see a lot of shots with Batman in civilian attire and stuff like that, going undercover, right? But he's more angry here, and I just wonder what's the history between the GCPD and the Batman, because it looks like he's kind of been the Batman for not a long time, but like he's kind of known. Obviously, you see the bat symbol there in the
Mhm.
trailer as well. And I think this will spin off into Batgirl, right? That has also been revealed. So I can't wait for that. Um, we saw more of Zoe Kravitz. I'm really pleased to see. I think she fits Catwoman really well. And Robert Pattinson, I think his portrayal of Batman is going to be, it's definitely going to stand out from the others. I mean, Ben Affleck's Batman actually was like really angry too, at least in Batman v Superman, and then they kind of watered him down because a lot of people were
Mhm.
saying that because Batman doesn't kill and stuff. Here it's more hardcore. Um,
I think it's more
so
believable in this movie that he's more
yeah,
angry
yeah,
as opposed to Affleck's, because in this stage of of Bruce's life, he's not the detective yet, right? He's more of kind of like just the brawler, right? So and they kind of showed us that too, like him giving the South Philly beat down to
right.
that one goon. But yeah, I definitely love the cast choices. Even like Andy Serkis is like Alfred, and
And we get to see more of him. Yeah.
yeah, and Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. So great supporting cast. So I love I think it's gonna be a really good movie, and it's coming out in March 4th of next year. Correct?
Yes, correct. I cannot wait, and it feels pretty soon. It feels pretty close. Finally, a good confirmation, and editing I think has been finished. So really exciting, man. I just can't wait. I already they have. If you guys are into collecting too, they already just came out with any preferred retailer you could pre-order any merch that they have going on, or to the DC site if you want to get some clothing. Yeah, so
Akram
really cool.
already Akram already went like the
Yeah.
Penguin and pre-sale. I got it. I got
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it.
pre-ordered the statues and the DC
I knew you were
multiverse.
gonna. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Yeah, Akron probably like pre-ordered." That.
Oh yeah, I had to. Like I'm a big collector of DC multiverse like movie
if
figures. Oh
if you're
man.
watching this on YouTube, expect it on his wall, like behind, like next
I'll
week.
give you guys a little tease, yeah.
But moving on, we got a lot of other great stuff too. So, Black Adam, Dwayne the Rock Johnson confirmed as the titular character. He said it's been a passion project, obviously, for a long time. They planned for release December of this year originally, but it got pushed back obviously because of the pandemic. So, but they've been using the time they've had to revise the script and do some casting, especially for like the Justice Society of America. Great cast, by the way. Pierce Brosnan as Doctor Fate, Aldous Hodge as Hawkman, Sarah Sahi as Isis, Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone, and Jaimin Hanzu, of course, as the Wizard. Your thoughts, Akram?
Ooh, that was also badass, really gritty. The Rock is a great showman. You could tell anywhere that he speaks when you see him have the position like this and talking
Right.
about something, that we're in for a good treat. I really enjoyed it. We didn't get to see much of the suit. I did see leak photos recently. He was in front of a blue screen, and I did see some leak photos. It looks amazing, and
Mhm.
here it looks really great too. I wonder what's the deal. How come they awakened Black Adam? But other than that, very hardcore and really graphic too. I think that's
Mhm.
the new standard for DC films is it's getting into the graphic side. Whereas, Marvel is like kind of like trying
Mhm.
to step away a little bit, sometimes like a little shy of doing that. So really awesome. What do you think about it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's gonna be different. I think it's interesting that they're not gonna involve Shazam in this. But then again, if they could make Venom work without Spider-Man, right? Then who knows by all means what they could do with this one. But I definitely agree. It's because he is kind of like an anti-hero, in a way. So this is gonna be his own movie. So I can't wait to see what they do with this. But yeah, I love the little reveal of them doing like a little Tomb Raider thing, and then he fucking vaporized that dude like some Palpatine shit.
Yeah, so visceral. Yeah, it's
I know,
awesome.
just like the violence level. So I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be like PG-13, or like, do you think they're gonna go more mature?
I think it's gonna be PG-13 for sure, especially Justice Society or whatever. I think it's gonna definitely be PG-13, but like strong elements, right? um, Involved there. I would like to see more of the lore because he did have a family in the comics, right? And he died. So I wonder if we're gonna get into that. Um, and in the whole ensemble too. Like I wonder what that's gonna be about. I'm excited really for like Pierce Brosnan and Doctor Strange too. I mean Doctor Strange, sorry. Well, almost the same thing, Doctor
Doctor
Fate.
Fate, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well, it's
like
so
really
funny because
excited.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pierce Brosnan in like like anything recently. Like it's good to bring him out of the spotlight. The last thing I might have seen him was like fucking what, Mamma Mia or like James Bond or
I
some
saw him in The
shit.
Foreigner. That was the last time I
Yeah.
seen him.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that movie too. So yeah, he's a great actor. He was like one of my
Oh, for
favorite
sure.
Bonds. So yeah, it'll be cool to see what he brings to such an iconic character.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
but moving on, what else did you take away from DC fandom?
Well, I actually want to talk real quickly since it was a brief trailer, but an extensive discussion. I wanted to talk about since it's live action too about Peacemaker. Um,
Yes, definitely.
Peacemaker is awesome. He has a new helmet design, as we've seen. It's definitely going to comedic aspects, right? That James Gunn is wonderful at crafting. Um, I love John Cena. I like he's so good as Peacemaker as well, and just the ensemble cast, Vigilante, that he was in Arrowverse. They showed plenty of CW stuff. I kind of dropped off of CW stuff, but well, the Flash has gold boots, so there you go now. But
You got those
Versace
Versace,
boots, yeah.
those Armani boots.
But it's so cool. I wonder if he could be a redeemed character, or he's just one of those characters that's so lovable, even if he's like bad or whatever. And it's hard to redeem a character that killed like Rick Flag. A lot of people love Rick Flag and
I
or
know.
Joel Kinnaman's
I still
portrayal.
hate Peacemaker for that.
Peacemaker, what a joke! No, it was it's awesome. I wonder what this is going to be about too. I wonder what's the scale of things, but we get to see more insight on who he is as a person. Definitely his background. Very exciting. I'm seriously. It's so funny. I had such a a blast just watching it, and the eagle hugging him and stuff like that. It was so good.
That was so random.
I loved it. I
Imagine like a
loved it.
CGI eagle just like hugging you. Just like it's so random. It's a
Take a
fucking
take a
puppet.
picture. Yeah.
But yeah, it looks awesome. Freddie Stroma as Vigilante looks really cool. He sounds a lot like Deadpool. It's so funny, like the way he
Right.
talks and the
Yeah.
way
I
he
didn't
acts,
expect that. Yeah.
like him hiding behind the trash. Like I feel like I was watching Deadpool like the whole time.
I know he was so funny. I didn't expect that out of
I know,
Vigilante.
I know, because he's such a dark character in the comic. And this is
Right.
the Adrian Chase Vigilante too.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of like iterations of the character. But yeah, the cast looks really good. James Gunn obviously is directing and producing this. I'm so glad that he stuck with it after Suicide Squad, because that was an amazing movie. Danielle Brooks as a new character, Leota Adebe. I'm probably butchering that name, but it's just so funny they involved her. I remember I know she's in Orange and the New Black. But the first time I saw her was in Master of None, where she was like the casting director
Oh, I remember
for
that. Yeah,
Aziz.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because she looked so familiar. I was like, who the fuck is... And then I was like, oh shit. And then the light bulb clicked.
No, she's great too. She's great in Orange is the New Black. It's one of my favorite characters there. And she definitely has a stronger relationship. Apparently, the actress said that like she laughs at like Peacemaker or like his jokes or whatnot. They just have like a stronger relationship. I guess maybe she's more sympathetic towards his character. Um, really exciting. Anything from James Gunn too. I'm like signed on.
I will eat
So
it up like candy.
yeah, absolutely. What else do you have for us?
Oh, well, I just want to also mention that we'll also release on HBO Max on January 13th of next year, and it will be 8 episodes.
Yeah.
But yes, moving on. Suicide Squad, the game. I know you're excited.
I thought you were talking about the Suicide Squad because they actually show like a behind, like a thank you walk. I was like, yes, thank you.
Well, transitioning, it's kind of like in the similar realm, but yes, Suicide Squad, the video game coming out next year, takes place in the Arkham Asylum universe, so really
Yeah,
interesting.
the Arkham universe. There's a lot of retcons in the Arkham universe in the past, so this one, I kind of feel like in a way this is almost like a reboot of the Arkham series, but it's still set a part of that universe. Yeah, you get to play as 4 characters, and each one is customizable to the T. It's like you could customize weapons, unique abilities, really exciting stuff. We see our first look at the Flash, Green Lantern. That's John Stewart, Superman, and it's a part of the Arkham universe, right? We never get to see Superman or any of these characters from the Justice League, like Wonder Woman. So it's really neat to see these redesigns, right? I love Superman's like it almost looks like embroidery or something like that on his
Yeah.
suit, or John Stewart or the Flash. So really cool. Brainiac too. I'm sure there's gonna be lots of goons to fight, like Brainiac's people or aliens or whatever. Amanda Waller too. Deborah Wilson is Amanda Waller. She's everywhere.
She's in everywhere now. She's fucking Wolfenstein, Jedi Fallen Order, like you name it, she's probably in.
That's like, yeah, War for Wakanda. Like she is. I love Deborah Wilson. She has such this, and she fits the part for Amanda Waller. She definitely has a demeanor, right? She could pull it off, and really funny stuff with the Penguin. So that, I mean, that is the Penguin from the Arkham series as well, right?
And Penguin's in apparently in everything too. Like he's already in this game. He's in Gotham Knights, and then fucking the Batman movie. So it's like they're really like milking out Penguin this year.
Yeah, I like Tara Strong, I believe, or Tara. Yeah, Tara Strong is the voice of Harley Quinn, right? So it's like she's there. Captain Boomerang has, I actually, believe it or not, Captain Boomerang has like a prominent role in the Suicide Squad in the Arkham series. Like he was in the animated film, and he also was in the comics. That like he died though, so it's like that's why there's some things that you kind of have to like look over. Like some things were retconned. Killer Shark, or King Shark, sorry.
King Shark.
Yeah, he died in the movie too. In the Arkham animated film, he actually died. He got his head blown off. So that was like weird to see him back anyway. But obviously, we had a year to think about that. So obviously, that's kind of retcon. So you kind of have to pick your poison about like what's canon and what's not. So excited, and free character swapping too. Awesome stuff. I can't wait to see more gameplay. Hopefully, I mean, this is gonna release straight to next gen as well, right? And so it is the true next gen power, right? Is behind it. I mean, as you can see in the graphics and whatnot. So I'm so happy to see what we got here.
Yeah, I wish we got a little more like gameplay like reveal, because I'm sure it's gonna look clean like for next gen. Very similar in style to Guardians of the Galaxy, or at least like that's the vibe I was getting off. But
I'd say so. Yeah.
But I think gameplay is gonna be different. Obviously, you said like you get to pick your characters as opposed to Guardians where you only play as Peter Quill. But yeah, it looks interesting. It looks like the Justice League might be under Brainiac's control.
They are.
Kind of,
yeah.
Kind of what I was getting off of. So yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be like Injustice, where like you have to fight each member of the Justice League, or like I don't know. But the story looks really interesting, so I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and LexCorp plays a big part here, so we get to get into more of the lore of other characters rather than it being Batman. And I hope this is a leeway to our introduction to adding new characters that have familiar concepts that the Arkham series has brought up, right? Because they're like really great at like, you know, fighting, right? And just like countering attacks and stuff. That's like where it really came from, and a lot of people, or a lot of developers try to emulate that, you know. So that's really fun to see. Yeah, that's gonna release 2022. We're not sure when it'll I'm guessing probably mid 2022 to late 2022, just from the information we've received. I don't think it's like anything's concrete yet. I was hoping we get some pre-order information like from Gotham Knights and this, but we haven't really gotten anything. But
Nothing
exciting
concrete
stuff.
yet.
Yeah, really exciting.
Definitely. All right. Well, moving on. Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom of Atlantis, gave us a little sneak peek what they've been working on. Yeah, apparently they got also pushed back, so they just started production July of this year. So we're looking potentially at a release of December of next year, which makes sense because the first one was also released during December also. When I watched this trailer, or what was happening, I felt like Jim Kelly in Enter the Dragon, like, man, you come straight out of a comic book. Black Manta's suit, man, that looks so clean. The silver helmet with the wetsuit, as opposed to like his. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like his suit in the first one.
I did too.
But it felt too a little Iron Man-ish. So I like where they're going with this one. It's a little more sleek, right? Coming right out of, I think they said too, like this one is inspired more from the Silver Age comics. And then yeah, we got the returning cast, Patrick Wilson as Orm, Ocean Master. Amber Heard, I'm surprised they're bringing her back, but
I knew it. I mean, they're like pretty far in. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I got what they did too, because they did show her. I was surprised they showed her, but like, you can't hide from it. The movie's coming out anyway, right? But they didn't have any interview from her, right? I bet
Mm.
with you that she did do an interview, but they like cut it out to avoid controversy. But like, regardless, there's gonna be controversy too, especially when the film comes out because she's still in it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they also had contracts too, so I mean, obviously,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
she might have been like stuck for around for another movie, and then who knows, they might change her contract later.
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see. Well, I think Tamora Morrison is coming back as Arthur's father. Um, I wonder if we're gonna see Willem.
We love Willem here, the lunch table household.
Right. And then yeah, directed by James Wan. This movie I think was originally called The Trench. But then that was supposed to be like another sequel or a spinoff, and then
Right, correct.
they changed it to Lost Kingdom of Atlantis. So I don't know. Premise looks really interesting. Can't wait to see Jason Momoa back in action.
Yeah, I mean, Yahya Abdul Mateen, like his costume here is amazing. I figured since like Man of Steel, I figured like they're trying to do something different than the MCU, right? Where the MCU is more like utilitarian in ways, but like here it's like very like form fitted, very like the comic books, I like it a lot. I mean, everyone has like those imprinted abs or something. I mean, we'll talk about
Right.
the Flash later, but the Flash as well. It's like very like
Little like caricature or like exaggerated. But yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it works for the D because I feel like with the DC EU now, it's like nobody really takes it as seriously as Marvel. So it's kind of like they can just do whatever the fuck they want, right? They can get away with something. Like look at Suicide Squad. Like it was just like a madhouse, right? But it still worked, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it depends on the driving force behind it too, as James
Right.
Gunn. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
And then speaking of comic accurate costumes, Flash. Ah.
that's the wrong Flash. Or we should say
Defender of
Dayman.
the universe.
Dayman. I loved
Yeah,
it.
man. Ezra Miller.
I loved
Did
it.
you notice the ring?
Yeah, I
The
did. Yeah, yeah.
that's
I seen
that.
set photos too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, you come straight out of a comic book.
Right, 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 right,
I
right.
wonder if they're gonna do it like because I never liked the comic book version of that. Like when the suit comes out of the ring, it just looks so retarded to me. Like, how the fuck are you gonna fit that whole suit in the ring? Like, it's a
Yeah.
fucking like inflatable like doll or some shit. But I think they're gonna make it maybe like Iron Man's like bleeding edge, or like maybe like T'Challa's like vibranium suit. So it would be cool to see something like that, like where he presses the ring and then he gets like the whole suit. But I love the suit. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I loved it too. I mean, yeah, and also in the CW Flash, he also has the ring, and the ring comes out like as you said, inflatable suit. But yeah, the we I seen set photos back then where it showed a stunt double playing as Ezra Miller. Looked very familiar to Ezra Miller, so obviously we get confirmation that there's two Barry Allens here. I'm guessing that the main Barry Allen, right? He does something as we see in the Flashpoint paradox, and then all of a sudden we see a different Barry Allen, right? And that Barry Allen, so this is confirmation of that Barry Allen, that Andy Muschietti, he showed a picture on his social media that we seen, like the original Bat, 19, Michael Keaton
Mhm.
Batman suit that had the Flash. So he's wearing it. So that Flash somehow has the original Michael Keaton Batman suit, and he just painted, graffitied the flashbolt there. So I wonder where's Michael Keaton gonna take place in this. I wonder if he's gonna get a new suit, which will be awesome. I really do hope so. I think
Mhm.
that'll be so decent to see.
Well,
I
they
think
kind of they indirectly confirmed that it is his Tim Burton Batman version. I mean, well,
oh yeah,
obviously
it
we
is.
heard
No, it is. Yeah.
yeah, we heard him narrate over the trailer, and then we got like a quick glimpse of the cowl like from his Burton days, and then just that shot like the back with the ears, and then I don't know because they kind of like cut at the end where Barry's like taking the sheet off the car, so we don't know if that's gonna be that Batmobile. I'm
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 pretty
hoping it
sure that's
is.
the Batmobile.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that's
sure
the
it is too.
Batmobile.
Yeah, it has to be. Unless it's like a they throw us off and it's like fucking Adam West's car or some shit.
Oh my
Or
goodness.
the Tumbler or something.
Right.
That's really taking liberties at that point. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what Mike brings back, I guess, to his character.
Yeah, this is a really important film, as we talked about in the predictions episode. This is it's going to be a very endearing story, a very heart-filled story, because that's what the Flash is about. The Flash is really about family, and he's really close to, well, he was close to his mother, his father, obviously. I wonder how that's going to play into this. Obviously, we saw that shot where he's about to touch his mother's shoulder or something. I can't wait to see how the emotions will play into this, and I wonder if we're going to get any scenes with Reverse Flash. They didn't really talk about Reverse Flash. I wonder if we're going to get into that, and I wonder where's Ben Affleck's Batman going to fit into this as well. We didn't see anything from him, so it's definitely important. I'm kind of confused as to where this will take place, just because we have, like, for example, the Aquaman movie. We have other films coming out, right? Blue Beetle was confirmed. We've seen concept art that we'll talk about later. So I'm just wondering, what will this do to the universe, right? So this is a lot of questions here, and they didn't have much apparently to show, but that was like packed, right? I do like
It
the
was
new
just
suit.
enough, right, to just to tease
Perfect,
us,
yeah.
give us a nice, get our feet wet
Sasha
into
Cale's there,
what the
yeah,
movie.
like
Yeah.
it's great. I just can't wait. I mean, this is probably like my most anticipated
Hmm.
DCEU film. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like the Flash has just like as many fans as Batman, right? I mean, if
pretty
like Flash
much.
is like
Yeah,
a huge, like, I mean, aside from like the CW, just like the comics, like he's just got like, and his Rogues gallery is so great too. So
it's
yeah,
definitely
I'm
up
like,
there.
definitely excited. Yeah.
Actually,
So
speaking of the Blue Beetle, what did you think about the concept art that we seen?
so there wasn't much to go off of Blue Beetle, other than just like, the directors, and then Chola Mardueña's little commentary. But I did like, they're definitely like exploring like the Latin representation, which I really liked, especially for his characters. So he's a representative of like, minorities too. I don't know, the concept art looked really cool. I
It's
hope
so
like
good. Like, I really liked it.
I
I
hope
will. Yeah,
the final product like ends up like looking like that. I
right.
hope it's not like fucking like the old Spawn movie or some shit.
Seriously, well, I think it's gonna be all
Something like,
CGI'd, like Cyborg. I'm pretty sure it makes sense if it was all CGI'd. You
I hope
know,
it's a mix of like CGI and like some realism, like almost like a Tom Holland suit in Spider-Man.
or Iron Man, just because he did wear like the torso part at least. I got a
Yeah.
feeling something like that. Yeah.
I feel like all the weapons he's gonna make are probably gonna obviously be
Oh,
CGI,
obviously, yeah, yeah.
but I think the final suit itself, they could like pull off. I wonder if he's gonna have like an Eddie Brock and Venom relationship with the Scarab, or if
Good
it's just
point.
gonna be like, I don't know, if they water it down and it's just like, some mad scientist makes this weapon Scarab, and it's like Earth made or some shit. I would rather it be like extraterrestrial,
It
and
is
it's
no, they yeah, it's gonna be extraterrestrial. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would rather it like be loyal to the comics, because I do
it
like
will.
Jaime's character too. I feel like he's gotten a lot of spotlight in the past couple of years, with Young Justice, Injustice, and of course Batman Brave and the Bold was really like our introduction to a lot of his character. But yeah, looks great.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and then I know you're gonna want to lead into this Gotham Knights, boy. What a fucking trailer, dog. I was getting like like Spectre or like Hydra vibes from the Court of Owls like the whole time.
I yeah, I liked it a lot. I really I would say I loved it. Actually, it was just weird because we didn't get more open world stuff. It was more about the Court of the Owls, which I appreciated.
Mm.
We get to see more of like I wouldn't say biomes, but at least the settings of Court of the Owls. I know that you read the comic. I read the comic too. I just love the themes that's playing on in the background, right? I
Mm.
love this
The
idea that
nursery rhyme. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The commentary that they gave to definitely gave us some more insight on it. And it's an RPG. We talked about that before. I remember, I believe, yeah, DC Fandom Predictions, and also some other time. I can't remember. So many episodes. You guys subscribe to us too. Enjoy our content, hopefully. But yeah,
They don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
oh, maybe not, but I don't know. But but yeah, no, I mean, I would have liked to see more. This was definitely more story driven. This reveal, I would have liked to see more gameplay, maybe down the line, and a solid date like to pre-order as well. I
Mhm.
think that this is pretty. I think it's more worked on than Suicide Squad. like at least as close to finishing up, I think.
Well, didn't the first trailer give us gameplay? Like a little bit?
7 minutes, yeah, 7 minutes, and that's fine. I just would have liked to see some more stuff, like
Mm,
for example, archetypes within the Court of Owls and the Talons and stuff, and how to
that's
take them
true.
down, like an example of like how to take down a big
Mm.
Talon or something like that. But
I think it was appropriate. I mean, the first one
yeah, it
was
was.
just like was gameplay. It wasn't really too much story, so I feel like this one gave us more like exposition. And Batman, I think, is dead in this in the as we
He
saw
is.
the
Uh,
tombstone in the beginning of the trailer. So it's gonna be interesting because the Batman is so heavily involved in the Court of Owls comic book storyline, especially the the part with his brother or his half brother, whatever. So I don't know how far they're gonna push it with this. But I do love the Court of Owls and the Talons as like villains. You know, they kind of like are like I said, like they're kind of like to Batman what Hydra is to Captain America. So they're kind of like this in the background, like shadowy organization. Um, and it just it's cool like seeing how many characters, and I wonder if like how many of the Batman rogues villains are going to be involved in this too. Like if we're going to see like maybe Joker or Two Face or I don't know.
Pretty sure. I mean, we did see. I heard that it was confirmed that Iceberg Lounge will be in this. So the Penguin, and we did see. I would say Iceman. We did see Mister Freeze. So again, this isn't part of the main Arkham chronology, but well, they have, they have some leeway, obviously, to like go about how they want to spin the canon of Batman, right? They have it's fresh. There's many things that they could play with now. Although like some aspects look very similar to the Arkham series, so I'm like kind of like I'm not a big fan. I wish it was part of the Arkham series. I mean, it's hard to squeeze in like to that franchise already, right? But yeah, really exciting. It's gonna release actually just for next gen and PC, so it's coming out in 2022. 2022 is really eventful. I can't wait for DC games, more DC games at least. I definitely love that they're playing with the Arkham fighting style as well, and it's RPG too. So it's like, how do you make a good RPG? They talked about it, right? I think that they have the method down pat, and I hope for the best. I mean,
Definitely, I'm excited. 2022 is going to bring a lot of great games for us. Um, all right, let's see what else we have. Just a couple little side bits. Superman animated series coming. Doom Patrol season 4. So interesting that they put Cyborg in that show and not Titans.
Yeah, right. I gotta catch up on Doom Patrol. I'm watching Titans. I'm not a big fan. I mean, me and you we were talking about like we're not
Listen,
really big fans.
if Titans can get a season 4, there's hope. I mean, season 3, there's hope for this podcast.
I don't know about that. I think they're faring better than us. But
I'm exaggerating it way too much.
I mean, Titans is okay. There's people still watching it. It's whatever. Season 3, obviously, there's a change in direction, right? Because it's HBO Max, so
Mhm.
I think it's more well directed, right, and well written. Season 3, right, for Titans. I think it's gonna no, not season 3, season 4, right?
Season 4.
Yeah, yeah. It's I wonder where they're gonna go. I wonder what's gonna happen with Batman. I gotta get into Doom Patrol. It's very campy, but I actually prefer Doom Patrol over Titans. I think it's
I've heard
actually
like a
yeah.
lot of people I've like heard that watched it said Doom Patrol was like way better than Titans, so I got to get into it too. It's on HBO Max, right?
Yes, yeah, correct. So I gotta catch. I think I got like 2 seasons to catch up on, but that's
Mhm.
excited. Also, we do see Young Justice, right? I know that you are a big fan of Young
Yes,
Justice.
Young Justice Phantoms. I fell off season 3 like during their mid finale just cuz I didn't want to pay for freaking DC Universe.
I
But
stopped my
I might get back into it cuz I do like what they were doing with the show. It feels a lot more mature than the first two seasons. I mean actually the first two were actually pretty they were dealing with a lot of mature themes already, but the third season very political, very heavy, especially like a lot of people dying and shit. Um, so yeah, I'll definitely go back into it. I love Young Justice. Not a fan of Teen
yeah.
Titans Go or or was that fucking that Aquaman King of Atlantis little cartoon bit. I
Oh
think that's
yeah.
just like that's obviously like that's marketed for kids, obviously.
Also, what's cool is this. There's the first ever CG animated film for the DC animated films, right, that came out. I wonder if it's part of the canon because there's a new canon, right, after
Mm.
Just League War. I wonder if that's a part of it. Like they're trying to do like a Star Wars Visions thing where each film now will have like a different animation style. I'm not sure. It could be a one-off because we did have Batman Ninja, obviously, Batman
Mhm.
Gotham by Gaslight. Those aren't really considered canon, obviously. I'm excited for that. I wonder how that's gonna be. Is it gonna be like Beowulf or is it gonna be like some like Code
Mm.
Lyokyo type of a CG? Like I'm really excited to see that. I wonder what they're gonna do with it.
It's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, like animation or some shit.
I don't know. I mean, I have to hand it to them. DC's like really great at making animated like films, and
Mm.
it's really mature and well
That's definitely their
themed
ballpark is animated movies. Yeah, definitely.
for sure. Yeah.
Speaking of which, the Cape Crusader anime series, I know we were both talking about that. That looked really interesting.
Yeah, I remember what was that channel back then where I used to watch like all these old Batman cartoons back in the
Is it
day.
Boomerang?
Yeah, Boomerang.
Boomerang, yeah.
Boomerang. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always like on. I watched so much. But yeah, this is cool. This is a prequel, right? So I'm definitely set into the noir aspect of Batman. He's just starting out. We get to see characters, their different depictions of also them younger, like Commissioner Gordon, them starting out. Really exciting to see the detective aspect of it, right? He's getting his bearings on how he could be the best Batman he can be. We did see some flashbacks of that he did fight Solomon Grundy, right? Their version of Solomon
Mhm.
Grundy. So this is going way more back, right? So you have you have the original creatives behind it too. So this is. I got a good feeling about it. I think it's going to come to HBO Max, right? Solely, and J.J. Abrams is
Mhm.
behind this too. That's weird. I didn't
That's
expect
weird,
that.
yeah.
That's
It's
like
crazy the involvement of I mean JJ's been doing a lot lately, but it's crazy that they brought him into like a Batman project.
Yeah, well, he also co-wrote a comic book with his son, Batman. And I'm sorry, for Marvel Spider-Man series, right? Which I thought it was
Mhm.
okay. It's kind of subpar, but he did co-write that. So at least he's into comics, right? And so I got a good feeling he's gonna definitely produce this really well. Um, but yeah, moving forward too, I just wanted to speak about actually because we mentioned this earlier, just real fast, the Batgirl thing. We did get some more talks about it, and we get a confirmation that she'll have red hair, thankfully. I like the actress a lot, and I also seen some of the concept art too. We get a first glimpse. It wasn't that close up, right? But we did see
Mhm.
that she will have a cowl. What do you think? What are your hopes and expectations for the Batgirl series?
Honestly, I've never been like a huge Batgirl fan. Is this Gordon's
Yes,
Batgirl?
yes, yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm just wondering like where this takes place in like as far as like continuity. Is this is its own entity? Is it like a part of Titans or something?
No, this should be a part. I believe it's a part of the Batman.
Oh, like the
It
actual
might not
movie?
be, yeah, but it might not be. It might be like
Huh.
a solo thing. I'm not too
Mhm.
sure. We don't know yet, at
That's one thing I
least.
don't like about DC is like everything. I mean, it is interesting, like everybody doing their own like standalone stuff, but I wish there was a little conformity, like Marvel. But I mean, the actress they pick look really good.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm
actually, I
excited to
think
see
it's
what
a
they
part
do.
of DCEU. No, my mistake. I think it's actually a part of like Ben Affleck's universe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, diversity, great diversity there. Not
Hmm.
much to say about it because again, there's a lot of things as like in early development, but at least they gave us something, right? And I do
Hmm.
appreciate that. Whereas Marvel would give a lot of insight on stuff, but like they'll just show a logo. Right here, we actually get concept. Even for Aquaman, right? They just showed concept and a lot of behind the scenes rather than a
Hmm.
trailer. So I really enjoyed that. What else you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, just going off of a great representation this year from DC fandom. I mean, obviously we got Batgirl, Wonder Woman. They did leak that there was gonna be a Wonder Woman 3.
Well,
Uh,
Linda,
Linda kind of
yeah,
like
she
gave it
leaked.
away. She pulled a Tom Holland, but it's okay. um, and then yeah, even like with Superman, like with the whole coming out as bisexual thing, I think that was a lot of people didn't like it. But I think it's a great voice for the LGBT community. And then moving to Milestone, they just I think that was an interesting segment. Milestone been out for a while now, and it's crazy how many characters they actually produce. I didn't know Static Shock was part of a Milestone. I thought he was an original DC character. Um, but yeah, so they announced that there is a Static Shock movie in the works, people. So your boy Static Shock's been always been one of my favorite. I love the cartoon growing up. Even like that little theme song by Little Romeo. But yeah, I wonder. I think that's gonna be animated though, and I think
I know,
Michael B.
no, live
Jordan.
action is confirmed.
Oh,
Live
it is gonna be
action,
live.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm
They
sorry.
confirmed it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. And then yeah, Michael B. Jordan and Warner Bros. Is producing it, so I think they're gonna really like give it justice and treat it well. What do you think?
I think so as well. I don't know where it'll take place. I'm all about like canon and stuff like that, but I'm excited. I always want to see a Static Shock live action film, and but here's the thing, right? They're talking about it, but they're talking about it the same way that Todd McFarlane is talking about the Jamie Foxx Bond, right? Where like Todd McFarlane's like saying, "Yeah, it'll happen," right? We
Right.
don't know when because this kind of feels like an independent project, or at least like not an independent project. It feels like very niche to the production studio, right? Where it's like we're not going to get this main priority yet. So I wonder what's the budget going to be on. I wonder if it's going to be really almost like an indie, right? Because they're not speaking about it as much, right? Even if it's like real early on, I did hear reports long time ago of them speaking about it. So I wonder where this will go.
I mean, they did get a writer. I think they said Brendan Thomas is doing the screenplay for it. But it's probably too early in production to give us anything concrete. Um, so I hope it remains loyal to the comics because Static does have like one of the most interesting like backstories, very akin to like Peter Parker's backstory in a way, but it feels more grounded in realism. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what they do with that.
Moving on, also just wanted to mention about Black Voices too. If you guys are obviously DC, so the other side of the DC universe is written by John Ridley. One of my favorite comics goes into the more of minority aspects of superheroes, right? And it really tells the truth of how superheroes are and how ignorant they can be towards certain world problems, right? So definitely check that out. John Ridley gave a short interview there in DC Fandom. I think it's well worth the read. He did a comic on Static Shock. Not Static Shock. I'm sorry, but he was mentioned though, right? Black Lightning, Katana. So check that out because it's so important of a comic to read, and it's just so raw and so truthful, right? To heroes in general that I think it's really revealing, and I think you'll look at heroes differently, right? And he also written 12 Years a
Mhm.
Slaves, one of our favorite films, and so I think it's awesome. I can't wait for you guys to check it out. I can't wait to see more too. I think he's gonna write even more later on. So yeah, definitely pointed towards Black voices. So check it out.
Definitely, representation's important. And then I guess obviously Catwoman hunted. That looked
That's
actually interesting to
interesting.
me
Yeah, you're an
because
anime guy,
it's
so what do you think
yeah, I
about it?
didn't expect that to be like an animated film. But it definitely gave me like Lupin the Third vibes. Just because like she's just like this jazzy character, doing heist jobs and stuff. um, but yeah, that looked cool. And I guess the final thing I have, well, just a little mention Pennyworth on HBO Max. That
Oh, it's
is
on HBO
Alfred's.
Max, or I thought it was on
That is
Epix.
no, that will be on HBO Max.
Oh, okay. Because it was
Takes
on
place.
Epix for a while, and I was like, I'm not gonna subscribe to
They're probably
Epix.
moving it. I mean, I feel like they're doing that with a lot
It
of
makes
DC shows
sense.
too.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so that'll take place in 1960s London, with Thomas Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth, as they're trying to change. I'm not sure too much about the premise, but it looks interesting. I feel like they're any character they can give a spotlight or like a backstory to, they're just doing it. But I don't know because we don't see too much of Pennyworth, other than the Batman movies. So it'll be interesting to see a young interpretation of him. And then finally, we have Shazam: Fury of the Gods with Zachary Levi and Asher Angel. A lot of the cast look much older now, obviously because they were younger when they filmed the first one. But yeah, it's they're almost like fucking like teenagers now. So but yeah, Gods and Monsters. We got Lucy Liu, Helen Mirren as Calypso and Hespera. Um, some different settings. We got Library of Eternity, Philly obviously represent.
Hey,
I hope they
DC
represent
representing.
I hope they represent SEPTA better than they did in the last movie because
They won't.
those buses were way too clean for me. I was like, there should at least be one dude in the background be like, backdoor dickhead. But yeah, it looked interesting. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm not a big. It's so funny that I'm like now saying it looks interesting. Yeah, I'm not a big Shazam fan, but it looks pretty cool. I'm not like into the lore of Shazam, but like obviously in DC Future State he had like a really interesting, in comics he had a really interesting storyline. So I wonder, because I don't think that the new gods are like bad, right? Like Helen Mirren's character, or Lucy Liu's character. I haven't really. I forgot if I heard of them. Oh yeah, I did. Kind of like anti-hero-ish, but
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder what the stakes are. Obviously they're traveling to like different places as well, as we've seen here. They're traveling to the Philippines. No, just kidding. They're not traveling to the Philippines,
Stupid.
but no, but it's really exciting. I love the redesigns. Right? Why not? I think it's really slick. I can't wait.
They don't look too Power Ranger for me. They're fine.
And I wonder how this is gonna cross over one day into like Black Adam. Like that's the ultimate like duel right there, right? The ultimate rivalry. So
that's why I was surprised when they didn't involve Black. I thought maybe Black Adam was going to be the villain for the second one because I think they did tease him in the first movie, where they're showing that flashback scene of like all the previous Shazams. But maybe they're saving him for the third movie as the main villain.
I think so. Yeah. Probably like
Yeah.
sometimes 2024 or something because it's gonna take a while. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a great. I wouldn't say great, but it was interesting. I mean, a lot of like projects like fell flat for me. I just feel like some of them were like underdeveloped, but I mean, they gave us a lot. So next year's gonna be really like jam packed with a lot of great comic book content.
Yeah, games, comics, films, and TV series, right? On HBO Max. HBO Max is definitely pumping the content that we need, right? Oh, Jeff, I forgot to mention also Injustice as well. If you guys, that's coming out soon, this week actually, at the time of this
October
recording.
19th.
Yep. So I heard that it wasn't all that, but Injustice is awesome. Guys, check that out. Definitely something worth to watch. So
If you
October
haven't
19th.
played the game and want to just know what it's about, you can just watch the movie.
Yeah, because it has a lot of like comics inside of it as well, right? So
Although personally, you can just watch the cutscenes on YouTube. of
or
the
the super moves or something. Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, that pretty much covers all our points for today. So we thank you guys for joining our reaction to DC FanDome. We certainly can't wait for all these shows and movies to come out so we can give you more content down the road. Shout out, of course, to Anchor for giving us our platform. You can check us out on a multitude of media, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcast from. We also post our live video episodes to YouTube and Instagram. Still working on our Twitter. Still in
Speak
production.
about that.
Release date to be determined.
Sometime 2022.
I feel like Ezra Miller, like with our Twitter, like this is our Twitter.
Yeah. That's I don't know.
But thanks to all our listeners. Please support this channel by giving us a like, a share, a follow, anything that takes 2 seconds to do. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
But,
please.
Until next episode, thank you for having lunch with us.
See you guys.